Welcome back from the ad break, everyone. We are about to go input our first marker here for the CI, I think this is. For the Great Zero, and let's see how this works, actually. Cool, it lit up. Yes. So you literally have to jump through them at the perfect angle. Oh, wow. That could be challenging. So let's check out this one now and see what this one's like. (61131 7484). 61131. 61131. I forget the middle ones, and then it was -84. What were the middle ones again? Hold on. I don't know if these are actually going to be important, because I'm pretty sure these are just the coordinates of the actual marker I'm searching for, and not the coordinates that are going to be important to actually 74 is what I'm looking for. And not the actual coordinates of the actual overall goal. But I'm still writing them down because they could prove useful for a reference, maybe? 74. And then this is, so circle, this is going to be direct, CTIO, direction. This is going to be distance. Oh, and if we look actually on our key, oh, so this is how we are unlocking. I understand now. Okay, so this is like, so this is how we're unlocking our positional. So like now as we're moving, it's showing which direction. If I walk around the Great Zero device, I can see it change more easily. Oh, wow. Yes, indeed, that is changing rather dramatically now. Because this is the 0 point. Okay. Oh, look at that. From 62, 478. Oh, there you go. I'm right on the Great Zero line now. Oh. That's fun. Okay, so now we need to go find another marker to be able to unlock the distance. So I guess let's take a I'm gonna do this the scientific way. Let's go back to here. No. Yes. This is where we found it, right? This is where we found the marker. So yeah, if we bring the key up, we can see that we're at 59874, which is, that's pretty close to what it was supposed to be at, right? That was 59863. 598. If I kept, it was hovering over the thing. So yeah, that was good. This is where we found it. Okay, so, and then the next one is going to be 611131. So if we walk this way, it's going down. Okay, so we need to go further this way to get into the 60,000s. Is it going to be, like, right there? Possibly? It could be on the lore roof, too. Let's go to the lore roof next. It could possibly be on the lore roof. No, it's not going to be on the lore roof. You want to know why? It's not going to be on the lore roof because if we look at the... so the coordinates are direction, distance, elevation. The elevation is going to be negative, so it's going to be low. It's going to be low down, which possibly means it could be, like, down here? Or we have to find a 0 point to actually see, like, how deep it's going to... It could also be in the gallery. No, it would be further this direction to be 6111. So let's see. Let's just go down to the main dunny area and see what we can actually decipher from that. Now that I'm kind of understanding how the system... Now that I have, like, at least 1 point of number reference, now I can be very scientific about this rather than just looking around aimlessly. Which is honestly what I kind of want from this skin. So let's go to, not the lore, let's just go here. That's gonna be in the main, Aguera. I'm not pronouncing that right. I recommend I start with direction because that's the most useful coordinate. Indeed. Okay, we're at 17... I guess the question is, where is the Great Zero line from here? I guess if I go... Is this the Great... Hold on. This has to be the Great Zero line. That's why it's... Aha! Okay, I understand. So that's why it just cuts straight through here. This line is the Great Zero. Which makes sense because it goes straight towards... the King's Arch. So... For 611, okay, 611. It might be down there. Hold on, let me go check that real quick. Or it might be down... Wait, did I miss the step? Oh, yeah, right here. No, this isn't far enough away from the Great Zero, I don't think. Oh, wait. I saw 611. Yeah, okay, so this is far enough away. The issue is, I don't know if I can get far enough down. Unless, is it going to be over here by where the, I think the concert hall is? Because it does kind of like, this area kind of curves around, so we might be able to run into 6111 again further. Oh, it goes up, though. We don't want to go up, we want to go down because it has negative elevation. Of course, I don't have a reference for elevation yet, so I'm not entirely... Yeah, this is too far away. It's not going to be 611. As orientation, the line goes from that one very high peak. So if we walk straight from the peak, the coordinates should barely change. Got you. Okay. Okay, let's head back to the square real quick and see if we can get a better idea. Oh, now I'm also wondering if I perhaps missed a negative on the first, like if I missed a negative line here and this was actually negative 77. Because in that case, it very well could actually be on the lower roof, perhaps. But no, I think the lower roof was on the wrong side of the Great Zero, so it wouldn't line up properly. Is it? Hold on, I gotta check. And pull my key back up. Yeah, the lower roof's on the wrong side of the Great Zero, so it won't be on there. I was saying, like, in here, was it... I'm thinking I may have perhaps missed a negative on the 77 on the direction one, and it's actually negative 77. Yeah, it was negative. Okay. So in that case... it would be a little bit lower than the one that we saw, but not too much lower. Oh. $61131. Here is the exact direction. We need to go that way. If only I could walk through walls or fly. Yes, that's what I was exactly thinking, why I thought I perhaps missed the negative on the first one. Because the Great Zero is always the highest structure. It really is like it does like it goes out that way. I can't get on that roof, can I? Oh, wait a second. Wait, can I get on that roof? No, I can get on that roof. Okay, that might be the play then. Let me see if I can get on that roof. Because there was that one where I was thinking, oh, hey, that's the area that's actually inaccessible that I was going. It looks like it's the King's Palace. So I don't know why it keeps going out a distance like this. Which would be... that's the lower roof. Not this one. This one? It looks like it might be in the right orientation. Let's see, hold on. Because it's close to the king, or close in proximity to the kingdom. Yes. This is the roof I was talking about, however, it is not where I need to go. One of those buildings looked like Durg fins a little bit. Are you talking about this? This plant thing over here? Well, clearly this is not where I need to be. Let me look at these again. We have 57, so it's 57 units from the Great Zero, whereas this one is 74 units from the Great Zero and lower down. So it wouldn't be close to the square. It'd actually be further out. Do I need to go to the... Is it possible at the library? It might be at the library. Let me go to the library and see if it's there. The library would be lower than that one vantage point we had, which would make sense. It's further out from it. Where is the library? There it is. Okay. Can we find 611? From here? Unfortunately, it does not appear so. I think we're too far past it for 611. Okay. Let's walk back this pathway a little bit and see if we can get close to 6111. Possibly go across the bridge. The bridge would be higher though, right? Let's take a look at the bridge and see if we can spot that outcropping where we found the first marker at. So if we go out here, we can see the bridge from that outcropping. Right there. That's where we found the first one. Yeah, so we're too high. It needs to be lower. It needs to be lower and slightly... it's supposed to be, like, right there. But it's not. Well, no, because it needs to be further... Like, right here? Can I get to right there? There's no way, right? We're at 5-9. This is the concert hall. This is still not low enough, I don't think. We're also like, we're here at 6. Because like that looks like maybe like part of the concert hall that we can't even access from there. Yeah, there's no way for us to get over there. And also, this isn't actually 611 here either. Oh. Okay, 611 here. but it's further out from that. So it would be like, if it's not here, it has to be like over there on the main, on the Great Steps. Is that what they're called? The Great Steps? Is that where it needs to be? Possibly not at the Great Steps, but like maybe down here? Down at the, Oh, I crossed the Great Line. Or the Great Zero. I feel like this might be too low. But maybe not. So if I look back this way, that links to Teledon. Okay. So not on the Great Steps. What's in between the Great Steps and the Broken Neighborhood? It would be the gallery, would it not? Hold on. That's worth a try. Let's go look in the gallery. Because it is further from that outcropping. It's further down, and it could possibly align in that 6111 trajectory. Aha! I found you! 611. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 61131. There it is. And now we grab you. And now with that, we can head back to the Nexus and to ReZero to be able to get our second coordinate. Yes, yeah, they might not notice the gallery is angled due to its double doors. That's not this one. There we go. Second coordinate is available now. And then we're gonna start working on the third. There's a fourth coordinate though. Interesting that we can't. They said we can't do the fourth one until we get the first three though. Is the fourth one gonna be the actual like goal? Now, the first three is getting the ability to like understand the coordinate and the actual goal. that looks fancy out there. Is that the actual, like, 0 point right there? Or no, that's right. The 0 point's over there by the sparky electric thingy. Cool. Okay, we have collected you. Now... Oh, the music's doing the weird stuff again. I might go for a restart here in a second. And then this is going to be for elevation. (60143-1001) -70. 60143. (60143). Boom, 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 boom. Negative something. Let's go ahead and put a negative here too. What was it again? 1001.70 or -70. Do -70 and it's 1001. Just again, just to double check, make sure that's the correct coordinates. 1001 -70. Yep. Okay. Okay. And now we have, I guess this is distance from the 0 point. I guess we can just go ahead and hit Relto. And then 60. Okay, so let's try to see a good point to initially link into. So 5961, so it's in between these two. It's actually higher than both of these, but it's way further out. Oh, you're fine, Kazuki. I mean, helps appreciate it, but just enjoy the show. Don't feel bad about not typing something. Okay. Where is higher than it might be this. Hold on. No, it's not going to be this. This is further out. This is like along the kind of the correct path, though. What was the numbers were? And I'm gonna go ahead and put elevation there. So 60143. 60. So it's gonna be quite like it's gonna be almost over here by like maybe the King's Palace, actually. We focus on the distance number. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the Nexus, actually. Let's try Bevan. That's pretty far away. Aha, this might be... We're going further on. So maybe if we go further this way, actually. I think we're actually getting pretty close to it. Maybe. Kind of fun looking machines. Oh yeah. Myst machines are always fun to mess with. What was the 60143? 60. Oh, yeah, we're getting close. Here we are. Is it in the classroom? Yes, I hear it. Where? It's in the wall. They're in the walls. Wait, so it's outside the classroom? Huh? I might have forgotten something. Something I use in Eder Chemo? Oh god. Something I use in Eder Chemo. Eder Chemo was the kind of volcanic one with the gas. Chemo was the green one. Oh, there was a link. You know, for real, if only I had wings in game. There was a linking stone there that took me somewhere. That's probably in the Dunny book, but I honestly forget which one that would be. So we're gonna go to Eder Chemo itself and just reuse that linking stone. So I remember sudden drop. I remember there was I forget who it was, but someone said that this would be like, this is like we were getting like a teaser of a neighborhood. That might have been you, Jonathan, actually. Maybe. Aha, there it is. We found it. Nice. Oh, yeah, and here's that's the Nexus linking thing. Here's the school below us. Okay, I recognize exactly where we are now. Okay. I did forget the Bevan book also has multiple pages. You are correct. But it's all good now. We have found it. Okay. And before we go turn in our last marker, we're going to do some more reading. I got caught up looking for the markers that I forgot to do a little bit more reading. I do want to make some progress on this. I think this is no, come back, book. I honestly forget which one of these is the one that links us. Let's go this one. But yeah, I want to make some more progress on the. Oh, I was perfect. Yay! On the Palace of Kings, we got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 more books to read. 19 more books to read, counting the 2 we have left in the library. So let's get like 4 more of these. King Tajara. Tajara took the throne in 3219 at the age of 114. Though his father was considered to be an extremely decent and honorable man, especially in his later years, Tajara did not follow in those footsteps. It is said that he was an intelligent man, but that he used his intelligence and cleverness for his own personal gain throughout his life. In fact, rumors say that Tajara succeeded rather well at convincing his own father that he was the perfect choice for the throne, when most believed that one of his 2 younger brothers would have done much more for his people than he ever did. If there was one thing that seemed to direct Tajara's reign, it was personal gain. He was known as a masterful pretender long after his death, while those who saw through his lies during his reign were few and far between. Due to Tajara's nature, there is not much good that can be said about his time in the throne. The palace underwent a major renovation in 3271, and in 3279, the Writers Guild presented Tajara with the King's Age, one of the most beautiful and amazing ages that had been written up to that point. It was later discovered that Tajara had ordered the age to be written by 2 writers who eventually died of mysterious illnesses after their work was done. Tajara was married officially to 1 woman, although there were many rumors of multiple other companions. As it turned out, Tajara was also known within his inner circle to be an extremely jealous man, especially of his wife and other women in his life. In 3285, Tajara's oldest brother was imprisoned for the creation of illicit ages, a crime he vehemently denied at the time of his imprisonment. Tajara expressed great sorrow at the sentencing, although it was later learned, well after Tajara's death, that the crime had been set up as punishment for what Tajara had perceived as lustful looks from his brother. In 3298, a guild master of the Guild of Miners was killed in a freak accident while inspecting the progress of new tunnels. Again, it was later learned that Tajara had ordered the man killed due to a relationship he had many years earlier with one of Tajara's lovers, long before Tajara had met her. Dude, get over yourself. Seriously. Though Tajara's reign was viewed as fairly repulsive by most, it is important to note that for the first time in their history, the people of Dunny remained strong and focused even under the leadership of a poor king. The words and teachings of Tavar stayed in their hearts, and they focused on their personal lives, and if they were pleasing to Yavo more than their king. If there is anything good to be said of Tajara, it is that he did not destroy the fragile condition of his people. Religion was not important to him, and thus he never did anything to encourage his people one way or another. He did nothing to prevent those who wish to believe a certain way from doing so. Tajara died in in 3422 at the age of 317 and left the throne to his third son. Though Tajara claimed the boy was born of his wife, there was quite a few rumors that the boy was actually the first son of one of Tajara's younger maidens. The rumor was never proved either way, as both his wife and maiden passed away 2 years after the boy was born. Though officially Tajara had 3 sons, it's possible that he actually fathered 12 sons and 7 daughters, an exorbitant number for a Dunny. It should be noted most of these facts were not public information until long after Tajara's death. For the most part, the Dunny honestly believed that Tajara had been a decent king, though some began to judge the reign of Tajara by his son. It was not until much later, when truth were revealed, that the public's opinion of Tajara truly changed. We have King Tiamel. Tiamel took the throne in 3422 at the young age of 39. Like his father, Tiamel's major concern was personal pleasure. Unlike his father, he seemed to be not nearly as clever at hiding his true intentions from his people. In spite of Tiamel's inability to lead, a few worthwhile historic events were carried out during his reign. First was the construction of the Stone Eater in 3469, though Tiamel really had nothing to do with the Guild of Miners' first colossal tunneling machine. He claimed quite a bit of the credit at its christening. Grandmaster Naaman of the Guild of Miners, who did spearhead the effort, was irate at the lack of mention of his own name during the speech and made his thoughts public in the days that followed. Like his father, Tiamel carried out relations with quite a few different women, besides his wife, Shama, who he married in 3477. Unlike his father, it was said of Tiamel that these women, including his wife, were much more easily persuaded him. Public opinion clearly believed that Shama was a rather incredible woman. Why she stayed with him through his entire life, even through his well-publicized affairs, was not as clear. Some said she used Tiamel and the marriage for her benefit, and she definitely had his ear. Others said it was because she was a faithful follower of Yavo and believed that the promise she had made to him was not meant to be broken. Regardless, it seems clear that Shama was an intelligent woman who, though it was never stated publicly, for all practical purposes held the throne from 3477 on. And 3500, women became eligible for minor guild education, though there had been women participation in the minor guilds before that point, actresses, etc. They had never been officially recognized as members of those guilds. Naaman is the German word for names. Oh, Guildmaster Naaman. Guildmaster, I am a name. Though there was a push to allow women to join the major guild as well as the minor, Shama herself gave a strong case not to allow such an event to happen in 3523. She strongly disagreed with women being in governmental positions, and a seemingly ironic view, as she was basically king of Dunning at the time of her speech. Regardless, she argued that women had much more important duties, including the guiding of children. The push for such allowances seemed to fade away in the years following her speech. In 3574, Shama gave birth to Tiamel's first son, at least that the public knew of. For the remaining years of Tiamel's reign, Shama focused on the raising of her son, whom she vowed would not be the same kind of man as his father. A daughter was born 30 years later, and Shama raised her with equal resolve. Again, though the people were not led well, they remained strong in their beliefs and purposes, somewhat ignoring the bad leadership of Tiamel, and instead focusing on a high example of his wife. Tiamel passed away from an unknown disease in 3654 at the age of 271, giving the throne to his firstborn son. And here we have King Kedri. This is one of the ones in the library, is it not? I recognize this name. King Kedri. Kedri took the throne in 3654 at the age of 80. Kedri himself was seen by many as a testament to the type of women his mother had been. The day of Kedri's coronation was the proudest moment in Shama's life, she often said, up until the day she passed away in 3689. Whether or not they agreed with Kedri's decisions, it seemed most did. There was seemingly hardly a single Dunny who did not greatly respect and care for Kedri. He was a king for the people, and most historians agree, was the most popular king of Dunny history, besides the Great King. Kedri led a number of small proposals that often benefited the lower classes. At the same time, it seems he assured the higher classes that the proposals were the right thing to do. Up to that point, the island had basically been set aside for the elite. It was Kedri who established the district of Samathin, later changed to Karathin, as more affordable residential district. Kedri also donated his own Age of the Kings, written during the reign of his grandfather, to the Common Library. He directed money to massive renovation projects throughout Dunny, including further additions to the Great Temple, the Opera House, and further renovations to Bellari, the deteriorating district that Rikari had started years earlier. In numerous books and journals written about Kedri, it is said that he often walked the streets of Dunny and attended events with the rest of his people, as though he were one of them. He was married in 3686 at a public ceremony that was open to all who wished to attend. As one writer said of the event, if you did not want to be there, you did not want to be Dunny. Kedri eventually passed away in 3903 at the age of 329, leaving the throne to his firstborn son. Okay, Kedri. And then we have King Limashal. Took the throne in 3903 at the age of 100. Limashal had been fairly involved in the minor guild of actors, although it was said that what especially interested Limashal was illusion. Oh, a magician? Up until that point, there had been a few different magic clubs, although nothing official. In 3961, Limashal, with quite a bit of trouble, forced the establishment of the Minor Guild of Illusionists. It was not a guild that was most found necessary, but Limashal argued that neither was the guild of actors, painters, or musicians. It was entertainment, of which illusion was a valid form. I agree with that. Ironically, it was later discovered that the establishment of the guild was an illusion in itself. Oh, I spoke too soon. While the guild was debated, Limashal established an undercover intelligence force to keep track of the more dangerous factions and subgroups of Dunny. They were a highly secretive group of which the public had little or no knowledge until years later, and so with the confirmation of the Guild of Illusions, very, very well named now, I see, the Raylama, literally translated the unseen, were also established. Oh god, we have the secret police in Dunny. Though the previous few kings had been fairly focused on Dunny and expanding their own culture and territory, Limashal again looked toward the outside cultures in a manner that had not been seen since Hanash in 3975. He remarried, as his first wife had passed away at a young age, to an outsider. Unlike Hanash, who had also married an outsider, Limashal and his new wife bore a son, his first, 20 years later in 3995, and another son in 4014. For the first time, the Dunny were truly confronted with their views on outside cultures, and the arguments were said to have started as soon as Limashal was born, as to whether or not he would be allowed to someday rule as king. Unfortunately, though Limashal led quite a few efforts to supply better lives for other cultures along with a freer trade and sharing of resources with other ages, the remaining years of his reign were dominated by whether or not his son would be allowed to reign. To Limashal's credit, though he could have forced his will concerning his son upon his people, he never did. If his son were to eventually reign, he said it would only be over a people who want him to. In 4030, the council decided that a king had to be of pure Dunny blood. Limashal signed the decision into law the following year. When he died in 4083, he left the throne to the youngest child of his cousin, whose mother had been the younger sister of his father, Kedri. Limashal did not need council approval to establish the guild, though many kings preferred council approval. It was later said that Limashal purposely wanted the debates to take place as a distraction, so he could secretly establish the secret police. Okay. And now let's go to the library real quick and take a look at the Kedri book. something of note that I'm just thinking about. Didn't Gin have... I could link there, but a quick walk doesn't hurt. Ah, I gotta stretch the pause, you know. But didn't Gin have, like, a secret police of sorts on Riven? I don't really know if it was a secret police, more or less, but he, like... I want to say, like, Gin definitely took inspiration from the Unseen, as they were called, I think. I definitely have a distinct memory of, like, again, having some sort of secret spy agency or something. And it's going to be Kedri's story. The story of Kedri, taken from book 42b, translation by Nick, first draft. Kedri loved his people, and the people of Dunny loved their king, for Kedri did well in the eyes of Yavo and sought to serve those whom he led. In the 48th year of his reign, Kedri roamed the streets of Agura and was greatly disturbed. For even though all his people, rich and poor, loved their king, Kedri saw that the entire island of Agura was filled with those who were prosperous and those who governed Dunny. Where are my people? Kedri asked to those who walked with him. All around you, they answered, pointing to the crowds that followed them. Yet I do not see my people here. I see masters of the guild, I see owners of our stores, but I do not see those who have no opinion to join our guild or those who have built the stores. Where are my people on this island? Oh, it wasn't really a secret for getting the secret police, as it was just his followers. That's fair. That's fair. So the king called together his counselors and expressed his disappointments as he ordered that a new place isn't right, but I'm having trouble with this word. It's not the usual district word either, although that might be a better translation, or home, be built on the island, and that the name of the place be Samathan. He ordered that Samathan be made available not to those who did possess the wealth and statute of the elite, but to those who were not so fortunate. Still, they were his people, and the area was built, and Kedri was joyful to see his people live in such a place. Same word again. A short while later, after the area of Samathan began to grow, Kedri was walking through the city, conversing with his people and telling them of his plans, and Kedri was led to the common library because he wanted to see the ages that he had heard his people talk of. And again, the king was disturbed as he asked his advisors, "Where are the books that the great Dunny have written?" "All around you," they answered, pointing to the rows of books that lined the shelves. "Yet I do not see the ages of our people here. I see ages that resemble failed school assignments for the students of writers. I see ages that not even those students would visit, much less a king. So I will ask again, where are the great ages of Dunny?" So the king returned to his palace and ordered his counselors to bring his most prized book, The Age of the Kings, written during his reign of his grandfather, to the common library, so that the people of Dunny might be able to see the skills of the great writers, even as he has seen them. For real, that was a great burn. Failed school assignment. I was thinking about that's actually kind of funny. And the people loved their king more than they had before. So the king called his advisors and ordered them to add to the great temple so that Yavo might be pleased, and so all of Dunny could visit their god. Really, it's a form of Yavo again. I thought God made more sense though. In his house, just as those with money, and inherited kind of money, were allowed to do, the king ordered them to add the opera house so that all of Dunny could hear the skills of song of the people, just as those with money and earned kind of money were allowed to do. The king ordered them to add the district of Belari so that the area started by King Ricari might not fall into disrepair, but be treated as all other areas of the city, and that all of Dunny might live in prosperity, just as those with money, both earned and inherited, were allowed to do. And all people of Dunny grew to love their king more than they had before. Some trouble spots here. Seems there were a few different kinds of money words. Might need help with those as well as the whole place thing. Okay. Whew. Okay. I can definitely see why he was probably the most liked king. Definitely seemed to like want to like preserve Dunny and like literally bring his people into even more prosperity. We're gonna go on a quick ad break, and then when we get back, we will go turn in our our third marker, not our final one, because we still have one more to do. There was a linking book outside I could have just gone to. Oh well, it's fine. Forgot I was going to restart. We're going to go ahead and do a restart while the ad break's going on, actually. Because I did hear the music freaking out earlier as well. Are we going to see, like, the cool picture that I took? Oh, wait, that is the cool picture I took. It's just so dim that it looks like... Huh. Okay. That's fun. Cute conductor, Dirk. What are you... What? Talking about not me doing that. I was just dancing the music.